a lot of people, when these type of rollouts happen, it's campaign time. A president is campaigning. They want to know what he's going to do for wages, what he's going to do with work rules, what he's going to do with health benefits. So I want to touch on that right now, right? So when we look at our prior contracts, and let's look at the COVID contract, that's what we're going to call it, because we got a contract during the pandemic. Um, Inflation was like 8%, 9%. We get a raise of 3%, right? I think it maxed out like 3.5, something like that, right? How do you feel about, and just to be clear, the percentage wages we got during the pandemic was really no different than what we got pre-pandemic, right? How do you feel about our wages and having the ability to live in the city in which we work?
So wages is a touchy subject. So many members say, "Hey, listen, we deserve 5%, 10%, but how do we get that?" Right? That's the question. So unfortunately, we have this thing called pattern bargaining. Pattern bargaining is out there. It's real, and you have to understand it in order to combat it. So pattern bargaining is basically just the gist of it is they look at different unions and what they get, and we're supposed to match their pattern, and we get what they get. So if police gets 3% and teachers get 3% and fire gets 3%, so what the end result is, we may get 3% for the same period as also. So to combat against that, we need to lead the patterns there. Whether it's us, whether it's PD, we need to band together with these different agencies to say, listen, we need to set the pattern. We need to get the wages that we need for our members and create that pattern. But the other part to it is also in 2009, I believe, it was one of the arbitration awards. In the arbitration award, how they determine the wages, the arbitrator, one of the factors is the cost of living. So like you mentioned before with the inflation, it was like 8%, 7%, whatever the case is. It went down to maybe 5%, 6%, whatever the case is. I think if we just walked through the door to arbitration, because everyone wants to say, oh, arbitration is not good. But I think walking through the door, we'd have got a minimum of 5%, just walking into the door, just based on the cost of living and inflation that's out there.
So you believe the union administration folded?
Absolutely, they folded. Absolutely, they folded because they got the 3%. Then maybe there's other things that's in the contract that they wanted. I don't know per se, but they absolutely did fold because where was the fight? There was no fight. There was no rally. There was no nothing.